All right, welcome back to Worldwide Exchange. Another check on the futures market right now, where we are just about near session lows. The Dow's implied lower by roughly 850 points. The S&P lower by just about 125 points, and the tech-heavier NASDAQ down by roughly 580 points. Let's now bring in Robert Schein, Chief Investment Officer at Blanke Schein Wealth Management. You know, Robert, you listened to some of the news headlines and reporter updates that we gave you in just the last 10 minutes or so. With the balance of everything that you've heard so far, we know markets are deeply in the red this morning. Do you feel as though this is a time that you want to step in and buy some of the dips that we are seeing in these markets?
Well, we would have thought that today's market action, pre-market, as we're seeing the futures at session lows, that would have been yesterday. And then look where we actually ended up at the end of the day. So no one really knows, Dom. But the reality is that, there's some things that we have to look at. The moving averages, number one. So if we're going to close below the moving averages on all three indices, that's a wait and see environment. Are we going to have lower lows as subsequent as a result of that? I will tell you, we're too early right now to start jumping in because of all the geopolitical news and headlines that are coming our way. And it's not just from one category, right? There's lots to talk about. So for the investors, have some dry powder, as we do for our investors, and just be patient as we're going through the headlines right now.
How much dry powder have you accumulated? Because over the course of this past earnings season, the past 3 weeks or so, the corporate fundamental story, the economic backdrop in the U.S., it maybe has taken a bit of a slowing momentum portion to it, but it's still largely intact.
Sure.
So how exactly then do you go about figuring out when you want to deploy that dry powder? And is this the right time to do it with geopolitical uncertainty that in the past has resolved pretty quickly?
We always say we carry respective on the client, but about 5 to 10%. And that's because we let the market come to us. So we don't know when there's going to be a headline. We don't know what it's going to be. But we are excited to see opportunities come our way when they're high quality and you have a longer term horizon. I think right now the market is absolutely selling off for good reason because of all of the uncertainty that's building up overnight, and it's on the oil trade as well. So, I mean, if you look at the Strait of Hormuz, that's 30% of the oil that's in the global markets right now. That's a big story.
As you've watched the markets play out over the course of the past couple of days, are there places that now seem more attractive to you that go on the shopping list? What types of companies, the types of stocks that might be opportunistic given maybe larger market sell-off?
Well, everyone's talking about AI, as we know. But if you want to look at just AI adjacent or what powers AI very specifically, we like GE Vernova. If you look at the electrical grid, we know that $7 trillion is going to be spent in just that space for data centers in 2030. But 20% of that, so $1.4 trillion, is on the electrification. And so GE Vernova is the leader in that space that's going to take advantage of that. And oh, by the way, 75% of the U.S. grid is over 25 years old just in the United States. So we kind of like that thematic play, if you will, moving forward.
All right. Robert Schein, Blanke Schein Wealth, thank you very much. We appreciate it. All right. Coming up on the show, much more on that fight to keep the Strait of Hormuz open and the big jump in shipping and tanker stocks are seeing after threats to that waterway have emerged. We'll be right back after this.
Blanke Schein Wealth Management is a group of investment professionals registered with HighTower Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC, and with HighTower Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor with the SEC. Securities are offered through HighTower Securities, LLC. Advisory services are offered through HighTower Advisors, LLC. This is not an offer to buy or sell securities. No investment process is free of risk, and there is no guarantee that the investment process or the investment opportunities referenced herein will be profitable. Past performance is not indicative of current or future performance and is not a guarantee. The investment opportunities referenced herein may not be suitable for all investors. All data and information referenced herein are from sources believed to be reliable. Any opinions, news, research, analysis, prices, or other information contained in this research is provided as general market commentary. It does not constitute investment advice. Blanke Schein Wealth Management and HighTower shall not in any way be liable for claims and make no expressed or implied representations or warranties as to the accuracy or completeness of the data and other information, or for statements or errors contained in or omissions from the obtained data and information referenced herein. The data and information are provided as of the date referenced. Such data and information are subject to change without notice. This document was created for informational purposes only. The opinions expressed are solely those of Blanke Schein Wealth Management and do not represent those of HighTower Advisors, LLC, or any of its affiliates.